get so scared.
Yeah.
Until they finally made friends.
We used to
with
drive
them.
down West 25th, almost to just past the West Side Market,
Lorraine?
to get our. No, right on West 25th.
Yeah.
Well, past Lorraine. And the guy used to make our TaylorMade, our pants.
Oh yeah.
We'd go down to this little Italian, because we were the Stetsons and TaylorMade pants back in the day.
Yeah.
And we'd go down to him, barely spoke English, and I think for $15 you'd get a pair of TaylorMade
Nice
pants.
pants.
Yeah.
We had some nice clothes.
So I remember some stories as a kid, whether I remember them right or not, but I want to bounce a couple off. One was, did Grandma and Grandpa move X amount of times in a couple of years, like a bunch of times, like 15 times or something when he was like bootlegging? Did they move at
No.
all? Like when he was younger, maybe you weren't around yet?
No.
Like when they were bootlegging? No, they just had a
No.
few houses.
He only bootlegged for about 5 years, and then he got caught.
And did he get caught? Did he get arrested by Elliot Ness?
Yes.
He did get
Uh-huh.
arrested by
He was
Elliot
in
Ness?
this tree or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What was it? I don't know.
He was up
They
in a
camped
tree.
up in the tree to watch him. What happened is the farmer.
What had
was
happened here?
What happened was...
in Parma Heights, okay, which was farm country
Yeah.
back in the 40s. There was a farm behind them, and when you're making whiskey, you drain the tub, okay, and he was draining the tub into a creek on the farmer's property,
Right.
and the cows were getting drunk and
So
getting
the
sick.
farmer sold him out.
So the farmer turned them in. Well, then they were staying in the trees to watch his sugar deliveries because he was getting 50 pounds of sugar. And,
So the feds were in Grandpa's trees outside the house?
Neighbor's tree, probably.
Neighbor's trees or something?
and my favorite part of the story was when the Untouchables were on TV in the 50s, it was about Elliot Ness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time my dad would see Elliot Ness, he should be dead. Dad, he is dead. He is dead. You couldn't buy him. You couldn't buy him. Because they were paying the cops.
Everybody
the cops,
but him.
The cops
You
used
couldn't
to-
buy him, he would say.
The
That's
cops used to
insane.
come to the house, and Grandma would pay him, or she'd give them bakery, and they were paying off the cops.
Sure.
Well, Elliot Ness came from Chicago to Cleveland, and the thing was, he wouldn't be bought.
Yeah.
And that pissed my dad off, and that's how
That was
he
the
got caught.
Untouchables. That's where
You
the name
couldn't-
came
You couldn't
from.
buy him. You couldn't buy him.
So do you know the rest of the story? They were hiding out in front, and then did they raid him? Were you around during this,
No.
or was this? No, this was
If
before
I
you.
was, I was very young.
Yeah.
Very young.
So they then
They
busted
just
him
came
down
to the
and
house, and Elliot Ness
I knew
was
that was
there, and
fine.
they just put him away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then he went to college. Those were his college years.
Grandpa did?
Well,
Oh, that was
that's what
he's
he
in
called
college,
it.
he's in jail.
And for years, all the kids thought Grandpa went to college. Said, no, Grandpa didn't go to college.
And now, wasn't there something about his brother in Buffalo?
His
His brother in Buffalo. His-
Linda.
Yeah, so this is your uncle, right?
This is my uncle. Grandpa had 7 brothers.
Okay.
And they looked like the 7 dwarfs. They were all 5 feet tall.
Different sizes, yeah.
No, 5 feet
Oh,
tall.
oh,
Everybody
all the way
was 5
across?
feet tall. 5 feet tall. So Uncle Angelo was a barber.
Okay.
Another front job, but he was a barber. And he ran gambling in the back. And the thing I remember of him is, well, a couple things, but he always had a wad of money, okay, with a rubber band around it.
Nice.
Pull it out of his pocket. "Ooh, here, you give me $1. Yeah, I like Uncle Angelo. $1. So anyway, he lived in Buffalo. Well, while he was living there with this barber shop, somebody got killed. And
In the barber shop? Or
no,
no.
just somebody in Buffalo.
Okay.
And somehow somebody said it's the guy with the gold tooth. So they're looking at Uncle Angelo for this murder. Now, whether he did it or
Yeah,
not, I
yeah,
don't
you
know.
don't know.
They
There's
never
guy
said.
with the gold tooth.
But the guy with the gold tooth. So he knew the heat was on. So he left Buffalo and came to Cleveland and lived with my dad and mom, grandma and grandpa for a while.
But if it wasn't you, would you really
Yeah.
fucking leave town? I mean, yeah. So, it's the one-armed guy.
You were
It's the
still
one-armed
living
man.
with your mom and dad, so he.
You were still there, yeah?
You were still there, right, as a kid?
No, I never saw him.
You hadn't seen him?
No,
Okay,
this
this is
all
just before you, yeah,
All before.
as you were younger.
Oh.
I thought so. I thought everything had calmed down a little
This
bit
is
once.
when
Yeah,
my mom
because
and dad were like in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I
wasn't
just
around.
didn't know because of him giving you the $1.
Well, that's when he
That
was my uncle. That was
later.
later.
that was later on. Yeah.
When
Okay.
he lived in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But when,
So he moved to Cleveland and he stayed out?
He stayed in Cleveland for about 5 years. He had a barber shop downtown. for a few years, and then he moved back to Buffalo. And those were the trips we used to take with Uncle Sam. It used to take us like 8 hours to get to Buffalo because it was all like Route 303.
Oh, there was no highways.
There was no
Oh,
highway.
yeah.
So it was country roads, and Grandpa, he would drive, and we'd stop at a farm and eat their apples and fruit and shit, and it was like an 8-hour trip.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to Buffalo, and we'd see all the relatives there.
That's
you know.
amazing.
But there's a favorite picture we have. It's some